We need to continue some outstanding project. The money come on time. But Mr. Speaker, you know, I think it is something that is refreshing that finally the government has made releases of such an amount to the Assembly. We as the members of Parliament, our role is an oversight. We will make sure we monitor the utilization of this fund at our assemblies and make sure that the guideline that the government have set for the assemblies, they follow strictly and make sure that the people at the various constituency benefit from it. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kennedy Nyako. Yes, Honorable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the statement made by the Finance Minister this afternoon. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kennedy Nyako, we just listened to you, so please resume your seat and listen to others. We've just listened to you. Resume your seat and listen to others.
Mr. Speaker, let me first commend the Finance Minister for the briefing or the statement he has made to this House with an intention to strengthen the revenue stream of the district assemblies to develop their various districts and metropolis. However, I want us to put on record that this is not the first time previous government and past government have allocated revenue for the development of this country. The minister talked about uncapping of funds to the district assemblies. Past government had also decided to cap revenue to enable it achieve its own set targets and objectives as a country. And so it's all about the nature in which government decides to run its economy and what its priorities are. We cannot say, as the minister indicated, he said that the revenue available to the district assemblies are going to support the health infrastructure of district assemblies, support education, as well as water and so on and so forth. We are all in this country where a government took a bold decision to construct 111 health facilities in this country, all centered across the various districts. I'm sure one is in your district. all set towards bringing health infrastructural development across the district. The money that is made available today, 10% to health facilities, the minister is talking about creating at least 2 CHIPS compound. 2 CHIPS compound cannot be compared to the building of a fully fledged district hospital as we saw brought up in this government, in the past government. I was expecting the minister to tell this House as well how much money he's making available to complete the health facilities that are in various stages of completion. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member.
Mr.
Honorable
Speaker,
Member, is the statement not on statutory funds?
I agree, but I'm making a point based on the statement. It's all about the statutory payments and what is being used for. Mr. Speaker, I'm also here to declare that this funding, as the minister said, is supposed to be run by the assemblies, which we, members of parliament, are also part of. And we also are supposed to play oversight responsibilities in terms of the utilization of these funds. I want the Honorable Minister of Finance to send similar indication to the MCEs and the DCEs that this money is for the development of the assemblies, with the members of parliament having oversight responsibility against those funding. Because many a times, it is made to believe as if the funding that is going to the assemblies is for political expediency. But as the minister has indicated, it is for the well-being of our people and our communities. And we owe it as a House to make sure that we hold government, the MMDCs, accountable for the utilization of it. The minister should also be mindful about the procurement processes when it comes to this utilization of funds. so that there will not be abuses and breaches in the Procurement Act. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, let me commend the minister once again, and I challenge him to make sure that in going forward, more of such releases will go to the assemblies for the development of this country. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Yes, Honourable Minister responsible for local government, chieftaincy and religious affairs.
The Speaker has called me. Mr. Speaker, for the record, this time, my voice has not been heard in this House. And the Minister for Finance has released the money. Mr. Speaker, this is history. Previously, Mr. Speaker, I will stand here and rant, no show. But this time, for the first time, an amount of close to 1 billion has been released to the administrator for this Assembly Common Fund. Mr. Speaker, we suffered, myself and my good brother, Honorable Frank Anudompre, we will be at conclave, struggling with Finance Minister to release just 200. He will say, I'll give you 300. We say 400. We say, no, I can't give 400. He said 250. Mr. Speaker, I believe Honorable Minister for Finance, myself and my good brother, Honorable Minority Chief Whip, we commend you for the good show. Mr. Speaker, secondly, let's call a spade spade. And he who clams well deserves a push. I've heard my respected colleague saying that we are in the second quarter. Yes, the second quarter has not ended for it to be released. The law says 1 month after the quarter. First quarter has ended, and that money has been released. We are in June, first week in June. So you cannot be demanding for second quarter release. Clearly, Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Finance has done what is needful. But Mr. Speaker, secondly, it is not only Common Fund that has been released. Common Fund 1 billion, Get Fund 2 billion, Health Insurance 2 billion. Mr. Speaker, tell me, in your 12, 13 years stay in this House, have you seen this before? It has never happened. Mr. Speaker, we are going back to the pre-2017, where the assemblies were active and up and doing, where computers in the villages have jobs to do, where masons in the communities have jobs to do, where the rural folks who could fetch water for contractors had work to do, where those who were selling hardware in the villages had work to do, where, Mr. Speaker, Ghanaian youth were interested in artisanal job. Mr. Speaker, thirdly, I used to call for the collapse of the development authorities and giving that jobs to the assemblies to do. Mr. Speaker, that has been done. Mr. Speaker, for the first time, go to the assemblies and see. No assembly, even 1 year, to get 3 million in a year was a problem. That 3 million is being given to them in the quarter. Mr. Speaker, no, I'm saying this so that when, in the foreseeable future, when you can, you copy it. Don't say that. Mr. Speaker, and if, Mr. Speaker, 3 million, looking at the money that is being released, almost 1 billion is being released. 80% is going directly to the assemblies. And each assembly, we have 261 assemblies. 80% of almost 1 billion is 784 million. Divided by 261, every assembly will get no less than 3 million Ghana cedis in this quarter. Tell me, since when? did this happen before? But Mr. Speaker, it's good you are bringing this to the attention of the House so that my colleagues will put their eagle eye on how those monies are going to be utilized. But Mr. Speaker, one good thing that the President has directed that be done from the Cabinet is that no job or no project from the previous administration is going to be abandoned. So 20% of the 1 billion Ghana cedis will be used to pay the project that was started by our predecessors.
Honorable Minister for Local Government. Honorable Minister, continue to make your statement, but make sure you operate within the ambit of Standing Order 91(4) and 5.
Mr. Speaker, I rise under Order 91(3). And Mr. Speaker, Order 91(3) is clear that a member may comment on a statement, and the statement shall not provoke debate. My good friend, the minister responsible for local government, his comments are all provoking debate to an extent that he's inviting the minority chief whip that they are all commending the minister responsible for finance. So, Mr. Speaker, call him to order that his comments are violating Order 91(3), and for that matter, he must stay on course.
Yes, Honorable Minister for Local Government, operate within the meaning of 91(3).
Mr. Speaker, I have.
You should not provoke debate.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Habib is my brother. And Mr. Speaker, you remember he said when Atu comes, he will speak on something differently. But I could see that he's enjoying. But Mr. Speaker, clearly, these are being done for oversight purposes. And this is to make the House aware that such and such amount is being released, so that in the subsequent days, the committee responsible for chieftaincy, the committee responsible for sanitation, and the committee responsible for local governance, when going on their oversight responsibilities, they will know that these are the guidelines and this is the amount of money that was released to them. But Mr. Speaker, for your information, this is not the only money that is going to the assemblies. Just this morning, I had a meeting with the KFW. I had a meeting with SECO. I had a meeting with the GIZ. The Speaker, they've all agreed that previously they withdrew most of their services. But because of the investment the President is sending to the assemblies, they are bringing it back. So in 2025 and 2026,
Honorable Minister, conclude.
Starting from October, they are also going to release monies to about 75 assemblies that distress districts. So, Mr. Speaker, good news is coming, and these are happy days assemblies. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, Honorable Soini.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I wish to first of all commend the Finance Minister for the decision to brief the House on government's policy as far as the statutory payments are concerned. Mr. Speaker, I wasn't expecting anything less. I am excited to hear that he's releasing about 25 million Ghana cedis to all the assemblies. And Mr. Speaker, this took my mind back to the promise of 1 million one constituency. And I'm just wondering how much that will be if you were to break it down into 1 million one constituency. 25 million cedis at the local level is a lot, and it's going to actually contribute to the expansion of water provision and also, other utilities in the local at the local level. I'm particularly excited that the minister is directing that a portion of this should be used to construct nodal markets at the local level, because it is important that our assemblies utilize these releases so that over the period they can also on their own generate revenue to support their activities. Revenue generation at the local level has been very, very low over the period. And it's because many of these assemblies are not able to support the trading and the local economy. They are not able to stimulate the local economy. And these markets, I'm sure, will do that. I'm also very excited that the minister has spoken of the releases that will also be made to some of the other agencies across the country. Mr. Speaker, this is made possible because of the prudent management of the economy that we have all seen over the period. And we hope that we will all in this House provide the oversight that is needed, as the local government minister has spoken of. And with that oversight, these releases will be properly utilized, and our people at the end of the day will be the beneficiaries. And that will help sustain the growth that we are seeing in the economy today. So, Mr. Speaker, I once again want to commend the finance minister for briefing the House on these policies, and it is my conviction and my hope that the various assemblies will utilize these monies to the benefit of our people. Thank you very much.
Yes, my minority leadership. The indication was I should take 3-3, including leadership. Majority chief whip. Majority chief, is that not the sense of the House?
Mr. Speaker, that was the case. So we agreed on 3-3, inclusive of leadership.
Yes.
Speaker, thank you for the...
Speaker, it appears that the statement has generated more interest. So leadership is praying you to vary the earlier submission to add one more, so make it 4.
Having regard to the third business of the day,
Yes.
well, I'm at your mercy.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I believe that an additional one won't hurt the House. So 4-4, inclusive of leadership.
Very well. Then, Honorable Wanyimedu Entry, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also commend the Minister for being very brief and very clear on the statement. But I saw that the Minister himself was in breach of Order 91.3 when he makes a statement like he's providing money for the special initiative. And the language he used was that to solve the mess that was created. I think as a minister he could have used a better word to say that a mess that was created. Government is continuous. And if you are here now as the Minister of Finance to direct us, you should use a better language, Mr. Speaker. And I am not surprised that the Minister for Local Government did not wait to hear us, but jumped in and was also in breach of that order. What I would have loved to hear from the Minister, in as much as we appreciate whatever that had been proposed that is going to the Assembly, it is good. But, Mr. Speaker, it is quite recent that the government provided huge amounts of money in purchasing machines for the DRIP, that is the road infrastructure. I was expecting that, given the details, he would direct at least some monies to be given or to be allocated for fuel, in order that if you go to the assemblies now, most of these drip machines are packed. I was told when I asked that they wanted to do an inspection and take stock, and I was wondering what kind of stuff they were going to take when we know that we have about 6 or 7 or 8 machines in a district assembly. Since government is continuous, if the minister had not thought of that, I would pray. And I think the Minister for Roads is here. And I pray that the Honorable Minister for Roads will liaise with the Minister of Finance so that we can have a direction so far as our roads, the road infrastructure is concerned. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Walanyo Cheku.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me first commend our Honorable Finance Minister for making the House very happy this afternoon. I know this is a news that for years, for 8 years, we have not heard in this Parliament, because for 8 years, Mr. Speaker, I have not seen a single chip compound in my constituency, Hohwe constituency. But today, I can boldly walk to my constituency, Hohwe, and tell them I will provide them with chip compound. I can look straight into the eyes of my Zongo colleagues in Hohwe that the market that we promised them, together with the assembly, we will build that market for them. This shows clearly that Ato is forcing. Ato has brought the economy back on track. And I will also thank him for empowering the MPs to play oversight responsibility over the chunk of money that has been sent there. And we promise him that we will do so to see to it that the reset agenda is well achieved. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, it's unfortunate the Finance Minister, after making his statement, has decided unceremoniously to leave the chamber. Instead of him sitting and listening to us, our views, he just left the chamber. Well, I'm reliably told he's coming back. We hope he will come back and listen.
Honour member, the Hansard will capture you.
Speaker, first of all, let nobody be deceived that the Finance Minister so moto walk into this chamber and deliver this statement. No, let me correct it. We started this advocacy at the Business Committee. We started advocating for the Finance Minister to be here and brief us or update the House on payment of statutory funds. Then on Friday, last week Friday, when the majority leader presented the business statement, I got up, the Hansard will bear me out, and raised the matter again. And that is what compelled him to be here. So you should be commending the minority. All of you were quiet, you couldn't even complain. And you didn't want to criticize your own government, you were quiet. We caused the Finance Minister to come to this House. Speaker, that's a statement of fact. And let nobody be deceived. Majority leader, sit down and let's talk. Majority leader, let us talk. You can have the whole day. So don't be deceived. Speaker, the minister says he's presenting guidelines. The minister says he's presenting guidelines by which the statutory funds, I don't know if it was limiting himself to common funds, should be disbursed. Is the minister seeking to take away the authority of this August House? We have passed the common fund formula. This House. By what authority would the minister say that he's giving guidelines? The guidelines are all subsumed here. The guidelines, the minister is coming, he should come, my good friend, come and sit down and listen. The guidelines for the usage of the common fund are all here. For the avoidance of doubt, and the template is not different, it's the same template that was used. Of course, I commend you when you say that you are going to ensure that 80% goes to the assembly. That one, you have done well. It's work in progress. But you have not done too well. It is just a beginning. So, National Youth Program, National Employment Support, National Disaster Support, construction, renovation of MMDAs and other buildings, reserve fund, blah, 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 blah.
Honourable member, which document are you reading?
I'm reading the 2025 District Assembly Common Fund formula was passed by this House.
Very well.
So essentially, I'm saying that you have not done anything new. You have not done anything new. You are applauding the finance minister. He has not done anything new. And Speaker, I am questioning the authority with which our good friend, the Exchequer, will come to this House and say that Cabinet has approved guidelines. Cabinet cannot approve any guideline that is different from the formula approved by this August House. So he's compelled to go by the provision of this formula. That's a statement of fact. Let me proceed further. Local government minister, sit down. Sit down and listen to me.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip, I've also been in this House for a very long time. After the disbursement of the District Assembly's Common Fund, in line with the formula approved by this House, when the money is disbursed to the district assemblies, there is always a guideline to the district assemblies, and copies of those guidelines have been given to respective members of the assembly. Is that not the practice?
Speaker, that is not right. That is not right. Let's not set a bad precedent. Let's stick to the formula approved by this House. Then we will be making
your
progress.
word should be we should not follow a bad precedent.
Speaker,
not citing a bad
kindly
precedent.
allow me to proceed? So these guidelines are alien to this House, and he knows. We are proceeding further. I look at the contents of the formula, and you have allocated a paltry sum of 8 million for the administration of the drip equipment. 8 million, the entire country. 8 million for the administration of the drip machines imported and bought by the previous government. How is that workable?
Is that the formula you have approved?
Is that? Yes.
I'm saying that is that the formula you have approved?
This is your leading question. It's a very leading question.
It's not a leading question, because it is this House that approved the formula. It's not the finance minister.
Let me go by your principle of guidelines. If I'm borrowing into your principle, then the guidelines should come and amend that. Then the 8 million is paltry, so we should amend it and ensure that more amount is allocated. Well, that is a very serious point. Now, whether you like it or not, you stand in breach of the Local Government Act. 6 months, June, the Act says that you should be making payment quarterly. We are entering the 6th month. And so, well, if you are saying that we made mistakes, that is why you brought reset agenda. Would you listen to me? Speaker, would you listen to me? Speaker, you came on an agenda of resetting Ghana, yes or no? Honorable Haruna Adrisu, yes or no? The agenda is to reset the development agenda and the development paradigm of this country. And the Ghanaian people were gracious enough. They gave you 187 members of parliament. And you won with an emphatic margin. And then you are still referencing the MPP. You should be ashamed, because you should be improving. You should improve upon what we did. You shouldn't come and say that the MPP made mistakes and therefore you're also making the same mistakes. Why? You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. The minister who is not listening to me, that's fine. He failed to update this House on outstanding payments. You cannot come and say that I'm paying 1 billion here. That is lopsided. Give us an absolute report. How much is outstanding? How much have you paid out of the outstanding? That is the crux of the matter. You are picking and choosing. The finance minister decided to pay when he pleases. That is wrong. The law mandates him to be paying quarterly. You are paying first week in June, and you are saying we should praise you, we should clap for you, we should be clapping for you. After all this delay, contractors are crying if you don't know. So my assembly is Ahmad Reggie. I'm coming there. My assembly. If you go there, the assembly officials, they are all seated, very sad. Myself and the chief whip, I wish he was here. We went to the Common Fund administration. going to advocate for your payment. He said, the finance minister has not released anything. So you release after 6 months and you say we should clap for you. Yo, Atu will clap for you. After 6 months. See the road fund funding to be released to the road fund. Not even a peswa. Contractors are crying all over. Contractors are crying. Contractors are crying. Kwame Agboja is very sad. The road minister is very sad. So, Speaker, I think we need to look at this matter beyond the politics of it. The disability fund. Our compatriots who are fiscally challenged. I'm very sad. I am very, very sad this afternoon. Our compatriots who are fiscally challenged. And if you look at the formula, there is a provision explicitly dedicated to a disability fund. They have to wait for 6 months. Our disabled compatriots have to wait for 6 months. And after 6 months, you release a poetry psalm and you are here that we should praise you. We can't praise you. This is your duty anyway. Get fund is outstanding.
So, Honorable Minority,
Get fund payment is
Minority
outstanding.
Chief Whip, under Standing Order 91(6), I'm entitled to give direction after the statement. It's not debate. It is not debate. This is not debate. This is comment. So I want to understand which years arrears are you talking about?
Speaker, I am worried about how our contractors are struggling to continue with project. And then I hear, Finance Minister, I hear you say that you are going to construct market. Come with me, Speaker. The special fund, I want to quote. No, I'm not sitting down. Speaker, with your leave. Finance Minister, listen, look into my eyes and listen. Speaker, listen. Special project. Already you have said that market will be built. There is a provision under special project. An amount of 70 million has also been allocated for rural urban development special project, such as markets, astroturfs, waste management, borehole, street lighting, fumigation. So which market are you talking about? That thing is captured by the formula already. Is it for propaganda purpose? That is why the leader was saying that you should have brought a statement for us to vet. We, the minority, should have vetted your statement to show you direction. And then we give you alternatives. So, Speaker, seriously, a lot of the things the finance minister spoke to are already captured by the formula. And I beg to differ that he hasn't got the power to say that he's amending the formula that this House has already approved of. The Honorable Harry Idris agrees with me, and I see him nodding. You cannot amend the formula we have approved of. So if it is just guidelines, yes, but you cannot come here and just give us guidelines. You should consult us. Leader, that has been the practice. Now, in conclusion, I want to emphasize that when we pass the appropriation bill 2025 into an act, then we approve the overarching amount that is supposed to go to the assemblies. So you're not doing us any grace. Finance Minister, you're not doing anything wondrous for the House to applaud you. You are paying what you are supposed to pay anyway. You are paying what you are supposed to pay anyway. Back to the contractors. Because in my constituency, if you come to the heart of Nisaon, all road contractors are not working. I see my good friend, the road minister, still glance at me. I am helping you. You cannot speak. Contractors must be paid in this country. They are suffering. Contractors are suffering. Assemblies are suffering. Youth employment are suffering. And you release the poetry psalm. He has just released this poetry psalm and he wants us to applaud him. We will not applaud you. Go and pay the contractors. And then come back to this house. When you come back to this house, then we will say that, I know how dedicated you are. I mean, in my other world, when I was seated here, and you sat in this black seat, I know the principles you had espoused. The need for the assemblies not to be denied of the oxygen to prosecute public business. That you have always said. But getting to the office, you are different. You are different. You delay for 6 months. As we can come and give us poetry some and say that we should applaud you. Well, we will see. So he will be coming to this house with his mid-year budget. We'll be waiting for your mid-year budget. Leader, on that note, even though I'm not happy, what can I do? What can I do? But mid-year budget, make sure you take care of all these deficiencies, especially the 8 million to drip. That is too bad. That is too small. The entire country, Honorable Minister, take a look at that. 8 million is too small. The allocation to disabled people, I agree with you. Then the one for special fund, I agree, we should build more market. Then NADMO, how much have you released to NADMO? There is flooding all over the country. Accra, there is flooding in Accra. There is flooding in my colleague's constituency. Speaker, how much has he released to NADMO? Well, I thank you, Speaker. I'm grateful.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip, I intend giving the appropriate direction to the Finance Minister. I want to know the years in arrears. What is in arrears? What is in arrears? So that I can direct the Finance Minister to pay.
Mr. Speaker, I think...
Which years arrears are you talking about?
Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister is well briefed. So the Finance Minister is aware
I want the
as
House
what
to be
is in
briefed.
arrears.
Brief the House about the arrears so that I can make consequential directions.
Are you saying I should brief the House, Speaker?
But you are talking about payment of arrears.
Yes, there is an arrears. He knows there is. Speaker, with respect, there is an arrears. That one is a fact. But I'm saying that but that is the Finance Minister. He has all the figures. So I'm saying, Speaker, I'm simply saying that he cannot apprise us of payment without carry us along in terms of what is outstanding. That maybe leadership will engage him. There are other matters we have to talk about. I'm not too happy with him. I'm not too happy with him because the mood of the House, he has to perform. He knows what to do, and he's refusing. Speaker, you yourself, you're not happy because he's not doing what he's supposed to do.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me join colleagues to commend the Minister of Finance, Dr. Kessel Atuforsen, for the statement that he has made. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I think it is clear that there has been no delay in the payment of statutory funds by the government of John Dramani Mahama. No delay. Mr. Speaker, the records at National Health Insurance Authority are clear that on a monthly basis, payments have been made to service providers, payments have been made and transferred to hospitals, and we don't owe. That is very clear. Mr. Speaker, it is also very clear that Get Fund allocation has also been made and payments made to Get Fund. Indeed, I am informed by some contractors that they have been paid. Mr. Speaker, the annual ritual of senior high schools not reopening because they don't have food has not occurred again. And schools are happily being run. Schools are happily being run. It is obvious. It is obvious that we are doing well in the education sector as well. Mr. Speaker, if there has been a delay in the transfer of the funds to the Common Fund Administrator, it is for very good reason. Mr. Speaker, the assemblies did not exist until very recently. After the election, many of the assemblies too dissolved. Because if you read the law says that the assembly is made of the district chief executive and the elected assembly members and the government appointees. The government appointees had been withdrawn. The DCE ceased to exist. They were no longer in office. So there was no assembly to transfer the money to. There was no assembly. Because by law, the assembly did not exist. There was no assembly. That is what the law says. Mr. Speaker, it is only recently, a couple of weeks ago, that most assemblies were able to elect their chief executives. When they elected their chief executives, then the assemblies were properly constituted to now be assemblies. And the Honorable Minister for Local Government went around the country to inaugurate the assemblies. That is why the monies were not transferred to the assemblies, because the assemblies did not exist. They had not yet been inaugurated by the local government minister. So there has never been any delay. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Majority Leader. Minority Leader is on his feet.
Mr. Speaker, I want to draw the attention of the leader of this House to the rules of this House regarding this particular subject matter. The minister made a statement, and even the rules provide that the minister in his statement should not provoke debate. What the majority leader is doing now is to veer off from the content of the statement and to start his own argument outside of it. Mr. Speaker, there's no problem if there's a need for us to debate on an important subject matter which borders on national development. The Minister of Finance was in this House presenting the budget statement. The President had earlier told us that the famous 24-hour economy policy would find space in the budget. That was not in the budget. The minister is not concerned about how to create employment.
Honorable
Contractors are not
Minority
being
Leader,
paid. People are being sacked.
you are on a
Where is
point
the
of order.
24-hour economy?
Honorable Minority Leader,
the
you are on
majority
a
leader
point
on
of
his
order.
feet.
What is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I'm laying a foundation. The Minister of Finance was supposed to provide a policy direction regarding the 24-hour economy. He has failed to do that.
What is
Now,
your point of order,
Mr. Speaker,
Minority
yes.
Leader?
Mr. Speaker, I am arguing, my submission is that to the extent that the majority leader has failed to limit his comments to the issue raised by the finance minister, he is in clear breach of the rules guiding this particular subject matter. Mr. Speaker, why is he not concerned about the failure of the finance minister to pay contractors and to address the issue of 24-hour economy to create employment? Why is he not concerned about the mass dismissals in the public sector? As a majority leader, all he says is that, and then they have fulfilled the promise. Fulfill which promise? With time, you'll be exposed. Mr. Speaker, please guide the majority leader to act within the rules. Comment briefly and not to provoke debate. If you want a debate, let's dedicate a time for a debate on their 6 months of failure and disappointment. We're ready for them, but not smuggle his way in a statement when you failed in your own flagship policy, the 24-hour economy, your own flagship policy. You have failed the people of Ghana.
Honorable
President failed in his own. He said, finance minister took him. He said there's a team every day, committee.
Honorable Minority Leader, thank you very much. Honorable Majority Leader, please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, when the statement was made by the minister, it was made pursuant to Order 91. 91.2. 91.2 is very clear. A minister of state may make a statement of government policy, and the statement shall be limited to facts which are necessary to be made known to the House. Everything the minister said is factual. Facts about payments, facts about the timing of payments, facts about what the payments are meant for. They were all facts. Mr. Speaker, when you gave opportunity to honorable members to comment pursuant to Order 91.3, which says that a member may comment on the statement and the comment shall not provoke debate. Mr. Speaker, members on the other side, in their comments, raised questions about delay in the payments. They said there is a delay in the payments. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, I sought to also correct that and put the facts before this House that there has been no delay in the payments. No delay because the first quarter, which has passed, was a period when the assemblies did not exist. They had been dissolved. So he could not have made the payments to the assemblies when they did not exist. The second quarter is now. The second quarter is now. So we just ended. And that is why he has come to report to us that both the first quarter when the assemblies didn't exist and this quarter, he is now making the payment. He has made the payment. One of them in his comments also raised issues about whether it was paper payment or actual cash payment. Mr. Speaker, again, to correct the records and be factual, I have a copy of the letter of the Minister of Finance transmitting the money to the Common Fund Administrator. I have the evidence. So it is not paper money, it is actual cash that has been transferred to the Common Fund Administrator. Mr. Speaker, so they have also transferred it to the various district assemblies. This is factual. This is on record. You can go out and go and check with the Common Fund Administrator and with the assemblies whether the Minister for Finance has indeed transferred the funds to the Common Fund Administrator for onward transmission to the assemblies. These are factual. We want to assure you that the issue of the disability is also within the law, that 3% is for the disabled. When you send only 1 million to the assemblies for a whole year, 3% of that is very, very insignificant. But with this level of transmissions that we are seeing, these gargantuan amounts, these colossal amounts, these impactful amounts, these amounts that can actually change the financial foundation of district assemblies, the disabled will be laughing to their bank accounts. The disabled will be excited because they are going to get 3% of gargantuan amounts of money. So the 3% is guaranteed in the law, and when it gets to the assemblies, the disabled, the physically challenged will get their share.
Honorable Majority Leader, what is gargantuan amount?
When it is big, when it is big, when it is colossal, when some people used to transfer just 1 million, and then others come and they are transferring 20 million. That is gargantuan. This is what has happened. And especially when they are transferring it on time. Mr. Speaker, this whole discussion is about the promise of President John Dramani Mahama to revive our districts. How do you revive districts? By injecting funds into those districts, by making sure they are resourced